Well, it was in 1899 that the communities of Piqua and Troy first got together for a football game. Tonight, it's the 138th renewal of that series, and it stands at 66 wins for Troy, 65 for Piqua, and 6 ties. Tonight, the Indians look to even the longest high school football rivalry in the state of Ohio. Welcome to the Battle of the Miami, Piqua and Troy on the Indian Nation Station. Hello again, everyone. Tom Michaels here, along with the coach, Brian Gillespie. And Brian, the Indians are 2-0, unchallenged after 2, but will that change tonight?
I'll tell you what, I would think it will. At the very least, early in the game, there'll be a challenge. You know, Troy's got pride. Troy's coming off a tough loss to Xenia. I'm sure their coach was in their ear all week this week about how important this rivalry is and how, you know, they were embarrassed last weekend on their own field. So I would think Troy will come out with an edge to them and be able to compete early on. And Piqua, on the other hand, has not had any issue with their first 2 opponents, winning by a combine of 113-0 between Belmont and West Carrollton. It might take them a second to get used to getting, challenged again because it's been so easy the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, they're 2-0, the Indians are, beating Belmont 55-0, West Carrollton 58-0. Now they're coming off a year in which they were 13-1, 9-0 in the league. They have not lost a league game in the regular season since 2019. Last year they had 3 shutouts. They had 4 games that were mercy rule games. And this year, the first 2 obviously mercy rule games that we have seen here. And leading the way, well, it's Brady Uhl. He hadn't had to pass all that much, just 11 of 14. But again, just like we talked about last year, he's not dinking them all over the place and getting those high percentages. He's throwing the ball downfield.
Yeah, he said he's been very efficient as always, and he's got, Ryan Brown in the end zone on all 4 of his catches for 141 yards and 4 scores. I mean, that is Brown's town, and he's going to start selling real estate to other people because all he does is score touchdowns. The guy hasn't been tackled yet this year. He hasn't been on the ground. It's hard to believe that's the case, but I mean that comes. It doesn't just happen. You have to have a quarterback to get you the ball, and Uhl does a heck of a job getting him that ball.
Well, of course, missing an awful lot of yardage out of Josiah Medley, who graduated last year. He had the league leading 1,992 yards for the entire season. This year, we're seeing that being taken over by basically a committee, and one of the guys that has been very strong there has been Sam Smeezing, 10 for 122 yards already.
Yeah, he's almost at 11 yards per. He's at 11 yards per carry, pretty much. It's like clockwork. He's been eating up big chunks of yardage, and he's getting the start tonight. Bryson Roberts is a little nicked tonight, so he'll be playing defense only primarily, and that's going to give Sam Smeezing more maybe than 4 carries. He might get 8 carries. Now, they don't want to overuse him, so Kai Warner will also spell him. You'll see a lot of Kai Warner probably in the backfield tonight. Between Smeezing and Kai Warner, you've got 2 guys that are good enough to start for anybody in this league.
Well, Bryson Roberts, we saw it last week. He can do it offensively. He can do it defensively. And his first touchdown last week came off of an interception.
Yeah, and he's a heck of a player, and he's going to be out there on defense. He's moving back to the money spot this week with Elijah Frazier back in the lineup. So now they're full go at wide receiver. They're also full go at the corner position, and that will pay off in run support more so maybe than pass defense, considering the wing T that Troy brings to the table.
Special teams again, and we're talking about Jackson Tremblay primarily here as the kicker. Hadn't had to try a field goal thus far. He's 15 of 16 on extra points, and pretty much every time he puts foot the ball, he sends it on through the end zone.
Yeah, it's such a field position game, and a lot of teams, when we watched West Carrollton, couldn't even get a snap to go right to their punter's hands. I mean, they were snapping it over his head. It was like you needed clown music playing in the background when they would snap that's the difference in a lot of games, especially in a rivalry game like that. You have a punter, a kicker that can get that field position in favor of your team, like you have with Trombo, that's a huge advantage for the Piqua Indians.
And one thing we haven't seen with him is his punting ability for 2022, because he hasn't had to with the kind of offense Piqua's put out there.
Yeah, he's been in on the kickoffs, and as usual, he's been kicking them through the end zone, and then he's booting those extra points and about knocking the kid out on the track, trying to catch back there out on extra points. He's kicking them so long. So we'll see. I think we'll see some of that punting expertise tonight, and that's where he shines, even more so.
And for the Indians, they are under the 31st year of head coach Bill Neese. Meanwhile, the Troy Trojans under a first year of coach, that's Troy Everhart, and their record right now at 1-1, 0-1 in the Miami division. Last year they were 6-5, lost to Withrow 29-7 in the first round of the tournament. So far this year they have beaten Dunbar 56-24 and lost to Xenia 50-20. One of the unusual things we're going to see here is an offense that you don't get to see all that much, which is the wing T. But while that would normally be an advantage here for Troy, the Indians have seen a wing T not all that long ago, last year in the playoffs when they beat Edgewood.
Yeah, they saw a real good running back last year at Edgewood that really was a tough one to stop. I think you're going to see somebody similar to that player, maybe not quite at his level, in number 25, Jihadi Ward, the fullback for Troy. He's their go-to guy. He's got 226 yards and 3 touchdowns on 36 carries. You're going to see him getting a lot of traps and a lot of dives right up the middle. They're going to really try to jam it down Piqua's throat tonight.
Well, now, normally with that wing T, you're not seeing an awful lot of throwing by the Troy team. You're also not seeing a whole lot of the quarterback doing the running, because they spread that around to some of the H-backs and such as that. But there is a problem for that team, because they've got some quarterbacks that are nicked up. They've got 3 that have played appreciable time, and at least 2 of them are hurt.
Well, last week they were down to their 3rd quarterback. They got down to Cameron Stoltz, number 37, which is not your typical quarterback. That's their 3rd string quarterback. They got down to him because the starter, Donnie Stanley, went out with an ankle injury. The backup, Bobby Rolfs, he's got his bell rung and he got a concussion. Rolfs will be out this week due to that concussion. Unknown whether Stanley's going to play. He'll probably give it a go at quarterback. And then you have the 3rd string, Cameron Stoltz, will have to be ready to go because Stanley's got his ankle's not at 100%. So that's unique to have 2 quarterbacks, your first 2 quarterbacks, get hurt in a system where you really don't run the quarterback that much.
Well, Troy Everhart's looking for what works here, there, and pretty much everywhere. They've got 3 different players who have kicked for the team thus far: Cameron Stoltz, Andrew Hellman, Tyler Lewis, and none of them look like they have had a problem thus far, at least statistically, as we take a look there. This battle of the Miami, at one time or another, each of these teams has taken a turn at dominating the series. Piqua, they won 9 of 10 between 1924 and 32. Much later than that, Troy won 11 of 13 between 69 and 81. 5 straight for Troy between 07 and 11. Piqua, 4 straight from 2012 to 18, and then 16. And then Troy won 4 straight, 2016 to 2019. So right now, the Indians marching band is on the field as we get ready for this granddaddy of them all for high school football in the state of Ohio. Well, let's go on down to the field.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the visiting Troy Trojans.
And here come the Piqua Indians. With the record of 2-0. Having beaten Belmont 55-0, West Carrollton 58-0. Looking to continue the regular season win string that dates back to 2019.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please stand and remove your hats for the playing of tonight's national anthem?
And now let's go down to the band for our national anthem. Beautiful night for football here in Southwest Ohio. Temperature a little warm. Pretty much everybody out there wearing the shorts and getting ready for what should be one dandy football game. Our officials tonight, the referee is Greg Strickland. Linesman, Jerry Eberly. Line judge, Chris Branscombe. Sean Isaac is the umpire, and the back judge is Jack Brooks. The Indians won the toss, deferred to the second half. They're going to be defending the goal. to our right here in this first quarter. What should we look for early on here offensively with that wing T?
Well, I think you're going to have to read keys. I think they're going to have to, your eye discipline is very important because you got to see when they're, are they pulling the guards? Are they trying to kick you out so that they can get the ball out to Kawecki around the end? That's definitely a player that they like to get the ball on the outside to, number 23, Nick Kawecki, their halfback. They also have a really fast wide receiver, number 2, Colin Stoltz, who is their jet sweep kind of guy where he's going to go in motion, he's going to start, he's going to get that speed up, which he was 3rd in the league in sprinting last year at the 100. So he gets a little head of steam up. He's tough to tackle. So they're going to have to keep an eye on the jet sweep as well. So it's going to be a challenge, eye discipline-wise. But again, as we talked about earlier, we do have experience facing the wing T just last season. So late last season, actually.
Jackson Tremblay puts the ball on the tee, gets ready to kick it off here. Looking back deep, Nick Kawecki, Willie Ritchie. And we are ready to go here at Alexander Stadium, Perk Field. 138 times these two teams have gotten together. And right on through the end zone it goes. So bring it out to the 20, and that's where we're going to see the Trojans take over here 1st and 10 with the first possession of the game. Troy Everhart, first year, replaced Dan Gress, who was 19-9 in 3 years with the Trojans.
Looks like they're at their 3rd string quarterback. It does not look like Stanley's playing. So we look like Stoltz is going to be in there at quarterback tonight.
Under center. And they're going to go straight ahead this time. That's Jahari Ward. Has rushed for 36 times for 226 yards, a good 6.3 yard average. Gets the ball out just shy of the 25-yard line. Bring up 2nd down.
I think you're going to see a good bit of that because he gets up pretty close to that quarterback and, he gets a head of steam up. They're trying to do quick snaps, too.
Jonathan Dilbone wide to the near side. They're going to go up the middle once again.
Toward your ball carrier.
And it's going to get it out there close to a 1st down, but no.
For the Indians, number 8, Sam Schneezy.
So that's going to bring up 3rd down here. 3rd down and 1.
They're really trying to rush it up to the line to catch Piqua off guard here. And it's been rather successful in those first 2 carries.
Willie Ritchie bringing in the play. He's going to come out here to the left side. Again, they're going to give the ball to Jahari Ward. And Ward will pick up the 1st down here. First down of the game. And rather than see that
number 24, Devin Finley.
I think if you're
sweep
Piqua,
around the ends, we see him go right up the middle again.
If you're Piqua, you gotta react a little quicker and get set up quicker. They're not getting set up quick enough, and they're giving up chunks of 5 yards just on the handoff right up the middle. They got to get down in their stance. They're coming up quick.
Nose of the ball on the 35-yard line. 1st and 10. We got a flag.
Now that's one of those things when you're trying to rush. You're asking for penalties on the offense because sometimes you're in too much of a hurry and you shoot yourself in the foot. Now you can't necessarily run it right up the middle because you've got yourself in 1st and 15.
Takes it back just shy of the 30-yard line. Again, Willie Ritchie is the guy who comes in with the play. Quarterback is Cameron Stoltz. He'll line up underneath center. Give the ball again, Jahari Ward. And they're just banging it inside there and getting good yardage each time. Gets it back just beyond the, maybe a yard beyond the original line of scrimmage here. And gets the ball out to the 36-yard line where it'll be 2nd and 9. We've played our first 2 minutes here of the first quarter.
I mean, you're only seeing one guy back there, and they're basically running the same play over and over again.
Coming out quickly. Stoltz. This time they're going to give the ball Nick Kawecki, one of the H-backs, 5'11", 190-pound senior.
You know, that was the first time they had him back there, and they kind of gave away their play there because I think Piqua recognized that they have two back there instead of just the one.
That gets the ball out just a little beyond the 33-yard line.
3rd and long with a wing tee is not your best down.
Now they go with two backs. Rolling, quarterback, and that is complete. Got that ball out there to Nick Kowacki, but it's going to be well short of the first down. Inside 9 minutes to go, first quarter.
They'll bring up 4th down and 5.
So 4th down coming up here, 4th down and 5.
You know, he was open there, just the ball will keep, you know, that's one of those things. They don't throw a lot of passes, so, you know, it was a pretty inaccurate ball that he wasn't able to get that first down on.
Andrew Hellman is the punter. He's kicked 3 times for an average of 31 per kick. Good snap. We saw a few of those last week. And that ball is going to bounce around the 30-yard line, come back, and is finally going to be down just shy of that 30-yard line. So the Piqua Indians take over for the first time here under Coach Bill Neese. Of course, played at Baldwin Wallace, was a Hall of Famer there, and played as part of that Division III national champion team back in 1978.
You know, this Troy team has given up 74 points in 2 games so far, so they are susceptible to giving up some points. So Piqua will want to hit early and often.
Ryan Brown wide to the right, man inside him. Also another wide out left side. And they're going to give the ball. Schmeezing finds a big hole across the 40, 45, across midfield down to the 47-yard line. Sam Schmeezing.
Just when I said he might not get 11 yards per carry, he breaks that one on his first run. He probably got about 15 on his first run, so he's right on schedule right about now.
So on 1st and 10, now into Troy territory. Ooh, rolling right, looks, and he's going to be taken down. Let's see where they're going to spot that ball. Looks like it's going to be spotted there right around the 49-yard line.
That's one of those you just need to throw away. On, you know, you didn't have anything, took a hit, probably not worth taking a hit on that one because you lost 2 yards anyway. So get rid of that ball, live to play another down.
Elijah Frazier is split out to the left side. Did not play last week, was hurt in that first game of the year against Belmont. Could have played last week, but really didn't need to, so give him a chance to kind of get taken care of. Schmeezing will get it down to the 45-yard line. And that'll bring up
number 22,
3rd down and 8 coming up here.
First down got them behind the sticks, you know, a little bit. And now they're kind of in a must throw, unless they're going 4 downs, a must throw situation here.
With his 2 backs to his right. Frazier to the left, man in the slot, left side. Ooh, rolling left side, looking. Now he's going to keep it across the 40. He keeps trying to go. Got it down to the 37-yard line. And that's going to be close. Let's see where they spot it. It looks to me like they're not going to get a good spot on this ball.
You're definitely going for this one here. This is an in-between space. I don't see why you don't. I would doubt that they would punt this one here.
Working the left hash mark. The Indians look over to the coaching staff. No score here as we have 4th down. And then wide to the right. Schmeezing the back. Man in motion, Booker. Schmeezing with the ball. Schmeezing is going to be stopped. Did not get it. And Troy comes up with a big defensive stop there on their first time on defense. And take over the ball now in fairly decent field position with 5:50 to go in period number 1. No score. Piqua and Troy in the Battle of Miami.
They tried to pull the guard there. It was a little slow developing, And that's what got him there. I thought they might go a little more up under the center, go for a quarterback sneak of some kind, and Troy was able to track that one down.
Cameron Stoltz, the junior quarterback, 6 foot, 165. Again, going to give the ball to Nick Kowecki. Kowecki trying to turn the corner, and he's going to be taken down for a big loss. Loses about 7 on that play. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 17.
Drayshawn Roberts came up and got that one right there. That was impressive.
Now, the one thing I truly am not worried about with this team, Piqua, is being able to eventually start scoring some points up here. The defense, well, we think, we thought coming into this game we'd be seeing something different here, but we aren't seeing really the wing T as much as we thought we were earlier. And the quarterback now throws it. It's intercepted. Bryson Roberts, he's at the 10-5 touchdown. Bryson Roberts, 2nd week in a row that he takes in on a pick 6. And the Indians take a 6-0 lead.
Great play by Bryson there, and man, that's why they don't pass a lot.
Yeah, Cameron Stoltz there. That's the first interception he's thrown. He's only thrown 5 passes here.
They're just hamstrung. When you lose 7 yards on 1st down, that puts Troy's offense way off schedule, and that's where you get a really bad pass. And Bryson took advantage, though. You got to catch it and you got to run with it. And he did both of those very well.
Ooh, holding. And now 16 of 17 for the season. Jackson Tremblay and extra points. 5:32 left to go in our first quarter, and the Piqua Indians take out to a 7-0 lead here.
Boy, Bryson got that one, and man, he was light and he was gone. There was nothing but green in front of him.
We'd like to thank our sponsors who make it possible for us to bring you these games. Kathy Henney, Little Caesars, Tech Productions, Buffalo Wings and Rings, Dick Lumpkins, This and That's Candy on Main, Harmony Systems, Craig's Corporation, Edison State, Dr. Littlejohn, Morris Comfort System, and Atlantis Sportswear. So a little more than midway through this first quarter. Indians lead it 7-0. The defense coming up big there. Yeah. 2nd interception of the year for a touchdown by one Bryson Roberts.
I'm going to guess. I'm going to put a guess out there right here. I'm going to guess this one goes to the end zone.
Number 13, Willie Ritchie, and number 23, Nicholas.
You really live life on the edge, don't you?
I do. I like my percentage chance here.
Well, this one's going to be high. Oh, it's right there at the end line.
On the return.
And it is brought back out to about the 17-yard line.
Man, oh man, he got me right there.
Yeah.
About a half yard. About a half yard. But you know what? That's actually better sometimes to kick it right there. Get a guy with the ball with a good air time, because then they try to return it, and then you only get it up to the 15, 16-yard line. That's worse than if he took it, let it go through the end zone.
1st and 10 from their 16, their own. For the Troy Trojans in the white with the scarlet and gray. And we got a new quarterback in there. That quarterback is Donnie Stanley now. Now, Stanley is their number 1 quarterback, questionable with a problematic ankle injury. But he is out there now, and they pick up, about 3 yards for a 2nd and 7.
Yeah, I think Coach saw a couple of those throws, and he's like, well, Donnie, we're going to need you to go in there and do your best. We need a little bit more in case we have to throw it.
This time, and it is going to be taken away by the Indians, taking the ball back in. That's Brennan Johns, and the Indians now lead it 13-0.
It looked like Johns was the running back on that play. He handed it right to him.
Yeah, got it right there in the breadbasket, looked like.
He dropped it on the ground like he was like, here, take this and enjoy.
So just that quickly, here comes Jackson Tremblay once again. So the first two scores of this game by the Indians were none other than the defense.
Well, you know, they were trying to get the Stoltz kid there to get some speed on the outside, but that was a debacle of a play.
And the kick is through the uprights, 14-0 with 4:49 left to go here in the first quarter. The Indians leading Miami County rival Troy.
And I'll tell you, being down 14-0 when you run the wing T and you don't have any passing game or a very little passing game, that's problematic for sure this early in the game. And Piqua's offense has only been out there one time and they didn't do anything with it. It got stopped on 4th and 1. Unbelievable. Boy, that pile, those 14 points, what were they, within about a minute and a half of game time?
Yep.
That happened quick.
So we'll let you tell us, is it going into the end zone?
I'm going to give it another go.
You're going to give it
I'm
another
going to
go.
give it another go, and I think he might try to put it in between again on the half-yard line here. Maybe that's part of the plan. I don't know.
Kawecki and Ritchie will be back deep. Indians in that dark blue with the white and the red trim. Jackson Tremblay approaches.
Come on, Tremblay, you're killing me right now.
Oh, he got it in there pretty good.
He's messing with me now. Last time he kicked it high, this time he kicks it through. I think he can pretty much do with it what he wants.
First and 10 from the 20 now for Troy, trailing at 14-0. They lost last year to Withrow in the first round of the tournament, 29-7 to finish up 6-5 last year. They're going to go to the outside this time with Colin Stoltz. Turns the corner.
They're setting him up in the backfield like he's a running back, really, on those two plays. It was less about receiver going to, in motion. There's just handing him the ball.
Well, Stoltz, Colin is the senior, and he's normally running at an H-back. Cameron Stoltz is the quarterback who started this game. And they're going to give it again. Jahari Ward. Ward going to be stacked up, but didn't need a whole lot to get the first down, and he does.
I'm not sure what happened there, but Devin Finley had the ball at the end of the play. He ripped it right out of Jahari Ward's hands. He was literally running with it, and the referee didn't even know the ball was out. Now, they may have blown the whistle dead, blown the play dead, but jeez, it looked like Finley had the ball. He's like, what's going on?
Donnie Stanley under center. He'll give the ball to Colin Stoltz. Stoltz trying to turn the corner. He's going to be tripped up and taken down, and that is Frazier. Elijah Frazier, the defensive back, 6'2", 173-pound senior, and again, did not play last week.
He did a nice job of staying at home on that play, and he really strung him out until he had no more space and just went up there and made a great play.
Loss of 3. 2nd and 13 as we hit 4 minutes to go. And we've got a timeout called here with 4:03 left in the first quarter. Indians with a couple of defensive touchdowns lead it 14-0. So that was an official timeout there. The team calling that one. The ball out there at the 28-yard line. It'll be a 2nd and 13 inside 4 minutes to go first quarter.
The negative plays on first down are not ideal.
Stanley to Ward. Ward brought down at the 30-yard line, wrapped up by a couple of players, including Bryson Roberts.
Like Schmeezing was in there. Also, Devin Finley might have got a piece of that as well. Pulled a big boy down. Now they got third and 11. I don't know if they're going to try to throw it again, because throwing the ball has been an adventure.
Nearing 3 minutes to go, first quarter. Stanley, again, under center. We're going to shift, and we're going to have...
I'm at 29.
Dead ball, false start, number 78. 5-yard penalty.
false starts called against the Trojans.
The referee didn't even mind bother throwing his flag on that one. That's pretty rare.
I think he was going to throw his mic there for a minute.
He pulled his mic off and about fired that at the play. That's the problem with rushing up there. They keep rushing up there, and some of these guys aren't set.
So on 3rd and 16,
They moved again.
and it's going to be a flag again. So another false start here. By the way, the Piqua Athletic Department would like to thank the many sponsors of the program and the video board this season. Their support allows Piqua to showcase the best program and, no doubt, video board in the state of Ohio. Thank you, Piqua, for supporting our athletes. That takes it back 5 more yards, 3rd and 21. Troy Everhart, the first-year coach for Troy, came in here from San Diego. Looking to throw. Over the middle. Oh, almost intercepted. Almost getting that ball was Kai Warner, the defensive back.
Boy, oh boy, they're like wolves back there, hungry wolves in the back. They're like, I want to get my piece of this action. They wanted to get, and Kai Warner thought he had that one. Man, that had a chance to be another pick six.
Andrew Hellman will be on to punt this one away. For the Indians, back deep, Drashawn Roberts, who has averaged some 11.8 yards per return on 4 returns this year. Not real deep, taking it to 45. Drashawn Roberts at the 45 the other side. Down and out of bounds inside the 30-yard line, right there about the 29, 28-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 Indians.
Looks like we have a roughing punter on Piqua.
So let's see what this is.
Running into the kicker, number 21 of the receiving team.
So it's running into the punter, which is...
They'll probably want to kick it again after that return.
That's the first real mistake by the Indians here.
Andrew Miller went hard after that block. He thought he had it, but he just didn't get there quite in time.
Troy Everhart out talking with our referee, who tonight is Greg Strickland.
5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Troy will re-kick.
I figured they'd want to re-kick it because that was a heck of a return by Drashawn right there.
So Drashawn Roberts moves his way back.
Piqua fortunate there because that was borderline roughing the kicker, I think, on that play. They got a little bit lucky on just getting the running into the kicker.
Hellman drops the ball. Hellman is going to be inundated and taken down. Connor Booker.
And Andrew Hellman dropped in the
Also in there on that stop, Derek Jones.
from the Trojan 15.
So the Indians' excellent field position here late in the first quarter, already leading at 14-0.
Sometimes when you take those penalties, though, it's kind of like when you take points off the board after you made a field goal and then you end up fumbling or something. That right there happened to Troy. They get it blocked, or well, I don't know, necessarily blocked, but it was just a bad handle.
Mickey Anderson in the slot, Roman Medley wide to the left. Ryan Brown on the right side. Looking. Takes it ahead. It'll pick up a little bit of yardage there.
Brady Owl calling his own number.
Picks up a couple of yards. That'll bring up a second down here as we hit 2 minutes to go in the opening stanza.
It appears Troy's really sitting on the passing game here. So I think Piqua's going to have to figure out how to run the ball effectively, get Sam Schmeezing the ball.
Again, Ryan Brown is going to be wide to the right. He has 4 touchdowns this year, 4 completions, 4 receptions, should say. There's Sam Schmeezing. He's not going to pick up much. And there's going to be
Sam Schmeezing.
grab, taken down. Noah Miller in on the stop. Owen Harlemert also in there.
Initiated by number 57, Owen Harlemer.
That brings up a third down. Third down and long.
Bringing up third down and 7 for the Indians.
This is an interesting situation here because, you know, being up 14-0, you could probably make this 4-down territory and don't have to worry about trying to kick. So you try to get some of that 3rd and 7 yardage and make an easy 4th down.
Hooker has the H back. They're going to throw it. And incomplete. Ryan Brown couldn't get that one.
Pass intended for number 84, Ryan Brown.
As he was closely covered there. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Now I think they're going to kick it.
Come on, Jackson.
Since they got 4th and 7.
And that is going to bring number 18, Jackson Tremblay, on. He has yet to attempt a field goal.
For the Indians.
Looks like about a 29-yarder here. The holder will be Brady Uhl. 55 seconds ago here in the first quarter.
Come on, Jackson.
Ball is up, and it is through the uprights. 51 seconds ago in the first. 17-0 now. The Piqua Indians leading the Troy Trojans here on the Indian Nation Station.
Plenty of leg on that one, as usual.
So the Indians go back on defense here. Tremblay going to be kicking it off.
Football's a funny game, you know. As easy as it's been to Piqua's offense, tonight it's not been easy, but yet they're still sitting here 17-0 up, not even at the end of the first quarter, against their biggest rival.
Very nice night for football here as we have moved into September and the third week of the season.
And
Indians
school
at 2-0.
finally starts on Tuesday, which for Piqua, compared to other districts, have been open for 2 weeks now. We're finally getting going to school on Tuesday, so it's pretty crazy.
And I'm telling you, I like that. I'm sorry, I was one of those guys that went to school when you started the day after or 2 days after Labor Day.
Yep.
And we came out of it pretty good.
Yeah.
You know.
So I like it too.
Tremblay, high end over end.
Kickoff into the end zone.
Bounces in and bounces back.
We'll have to see if Troy can get anything going on offense here. The only real positive yardage they've gotten is just on those handoffs to Ward right up the middle early in the game. I mean, that's really the only positive. And they've got 2, 3, 6. You know, they had 5, 6 yards on a carry, and they got away from that. They tried to get a little creative, and it has not gone well.
Jahari Ward, the back, he'll take the ball. He'll get wrapped up. He's going to be driven back. Schmeezing, Booker.
Finley in there, too.
I
mean,
for the Indian defense, number 8, Sam Schmeezing.
There's some, looks like the steam's come off a little bit of that Troy offense. They don't look as energetic as they did right when they came out to start the game.
So forward progress means he loses a couple. 2nd and 12. Stanley, the quarterback. Stoltz comes around the near side, pushed out of bounds by Sam Schmeezing.
Goes number 2, Colin Stoltz.
Schmeezing did a heck of a job of scraping the line and putting it into overgear to catch Stoltz before he got to the line.
Sam Schmeezing.
That's a fast linebacker right there.
Ball up to the 19-yard line.
3rd down and 11 for the Trojans. Ball spotted on the road.
Another long 3rd down. This is not what Troy wants.
Trying to get up there quickly again. Ward. Ward is going to be taken down.
Finley got him there, I think.
And it's going to be down at the 24-yard line. Well, that's going to do it for our first quarter of play. The defense came up big, scored a couple of touchdowns there, plus the field goal by Jackson Tremblay. And the Piqua Indians with a 17-0 lead on Troy in the 138th meeting of these two schools on the gridiron here on the Indian Nation Station.
Football in the state of Ohio, who helped the Indians to the 2006 state championship before playing for the Ohio State Buckeyes and the Green Bay Packers. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Brandon Sane and his sons Gray and Blaze.
It does.
Okay, so we saw Brandon Sane there. These kids, Brandon, a guy who has put his name in the record book, and has been there for quite some time now here at Piqua High School. It's going to be a 4th and 6, so we've got the punter back on here. That's Andrew Hellman. Nice snap. This is going to be a high, and it's going to take a good roll this time inside the 20, and it's just going to die out there between the 17 and the 18-yard line. So the Indians going to be taking over now, fairly deep in their own territory, leading it 17-0, just underway here in the second quarter.
You know, Piqua's got to figure out something here offensively because Troy has been swarming their receivers. You know, they're going to have to run the ball a little bit to be maybe loosen up that defensive secondary. They had one good run there by Schmeezing early, but it's been pretty stiff since.
But I just have a feeling that not going to take too long. You're going to see this this offense of the Indians get all limbered up. Two wide on either side, single back. Now man in motion is Rashawn Roberts. They give the ball, this time to Kai Warner. Warner tiptoes it along that sideline before he is out of bounds at about the 37-yard line. That'll be a first down now for the Indians.
I think Kai gives you a little more wiggle, a little more speed back there. I thought you'd see a good bit of Kai tonight with, you know, you don't want to overdo it with Schmeezing, with him playing defense, you know, and being one of your key defensive players. So
Wideouts to them either side. Going over the middle, that's Rashawn Roberts taking in the pass at the 30 and dragged down there at the 20-yard line. Rashawn Roberts taking in that Brady Uhl pass, and the Indians on the march here early in the second.
that's more like it right there. That was right on the money. Nice job by Brady Uhl, a nice catch and run by Rashawn.
Roman Medley is wide to the left side. They're going to give it to the back. Kai Warner. Warner just pulls his head down there, down to the 15-yard line. So the Indians will have the ball here. A 2nd and 7 coming up. They're 2nd and 3, excuse me. And we've got a penalty against Troy.
Looked like a personal foul after the play there on on 36. I think he's getting pulled out right
Personal
now.
foul. Number 36, the defense goes to the end of the play.
Got a little overzealous in the rivalry game. Those things happen once in a while, don't they?
Oh, yeah. So it's going to be a first down, and it's going to be a 1st and goal to go from the 8.5-yard line. Indians with Uhl, the quarterback, the running back. Let's see. Brady Uhl's coming off. Oh, just getting the play there. Then he's come back into the huddle. The running back right now is Kai Warner. See 84. Ryan Brown, who had 3 catches last week. All of them for touchdowns.
It's interesting. It does not appear that they're using Elijah Frazier on offense. That's probably by design to limit his plays this week, and though he is playing on the defensive side.
So with Booker in motion, The give, Kai Warner up the middle for the touchdown.
And off goes the Kai.
He was not touched at all.
Beautiful play. Great job by that front line up there. They just sealed their blocks. No one had a chance.
Well, the offense had to earn their keep.
Yeah, they were feeling a little underappreciated at that point. They needed to do something. And there we are. So here we are again, partner. It's 24-0 with 11 minutes left in the second quarter of a game. This is a familiar feeling.
Jackson Tremblay. Nails his third extra point of this game. He also has a field goal. And with 10:59 to go in the first half, 24-0. Piqua leading Troy here in the Battle of the Miami. Well, the Indians are off to a tremendous start here. By the way, Piqua Athletic Department, like many of the Miami Valley League school members, going to be beginning to sell tickets online only for all the athletic events for the 22-23 school year, beginning with this fall athletic season. Tickets will be sold through the hometown ticketing app that the department has been utilizing the past 3 years. Tickets can also be purchased at Piqua City Schools website.
Score from another game tonight. We have Xenia leads Fairborn 20-0. Sydney and Greenville are tied at 7. So those are a couple scores of note in MVL action.
Well, of course, that's important for the Indians because Piqua is playing at Xenia coming up next week. We won't have that one for you on the Indian Nation station. We will have our highlight package, though, for you. Jackson Tremblay. This one more a line drive. So that'll bring it out to the 20, 24-0. Indians leading here with 10:59 to go in the first half. First and 10 now. We'll see the Troy Trojans on offense one more time.
Again, running the wing tee and being down 24-0 with 11 minutes to go in the first half is a nightmare scenario for Troy. They just have to try to get something going. Since that first drive where they got 5 or 6 to carry, they have not got much going.
Stanley under center. Ward with the carry. He'll pick up maybe 3 yards. Somebody's helmet popped up in there, so.
Looked like Devin Finley.
Yeah, so he'll have to come out here for a play. So Finley comes out. Into the ball game, meanwhile, comes Owen Schaller.
Owen was all over the field last week, and towards the end of the game, had 3 or 4 tackles in a row. So he's a good, solid replacement for that position.
Indians started this game with 2 defensive touchdowns. Once again, they're going to give it to Ward, and he's going to be driven back. Forward progress, keep him out there. Oh, about the 25-yard line, looks like.
Looks like Anson Cox got in there on that one. Schmeezing, as usual. He seems to always have his nose on the ball. They didn't give him a whole lot of space there to run with.
Indians will have the ball to begin the second half of play as they won the toss and deferred.
3rd and 5, partner. You think they're going to throw it?
Yeah, we'll wait and see. Nope, they're going to give it to Ward once again, and he's going to fall forward. Get it out close down to the 35-yard line. Probably, well, where he went down was actually the 33. But it's good enough for a first down. One of the few we have seen here for the Troy Trojans.
I think you're going to see them feed Ward a lot, because that's been about all they've been successful with.
Haven't been sweeping left and right. They've just been going up the middle as they do it again. Jahari Ward came into this game with 36 rushes for 226 yards, 3 touchdowns.
He averaged about 6 yards per carry, which is about what he's been doing tonight. He's about on his average, I think.
He's also got a couple of receptions this year, but That's not their big thing. Coming into this game, I think they only had maybe five pass attempts. So on a 2nd and 2. This time they try and get the sweep going. It's Colin Stoltz.
Number 2, Colin Stoltz. Stoltz will be tripped up by
Stoltz.
number 9, Colton Booker.
Does not get the first down. He's out to the 42-yard line.
Third down
I
and
think when you
for
see
the
number 2 in the backfield, that's a giveaway that he's getting the ball. He has a lot of times that when he goes back there, they're trying to get him touches. It's going to be trying to jam this one to Ward.
Backs are split. They'll give it to Ward.
He
Ward
didn't
gets
get it.
nowhere.
I don't think he got that.
Jahari Ward stacked up at the line
No,
of
he's going to
scrimmage.
be.
I think he
Yeah.
lost yardage there,
Well, they actually moved the stick ahead.
And on the
which
side,
doesn't make sense because it's not. They got to move that thing back because he lost yardage. That's all the way back, almost a full yard.
So that'll bring up a 4th and 1, and they're going to go for it.
And they brought Ward out on 4th and 1. Quarterback sneak here.
I dropped the ball, but he's going to get the first down anyway. Donnie Stanley couldn't find the handle on it, but it came back up to him, and
ball carriers number
he's
18,
able to move
Donald
forward to get
Stanley.
the first down here.
Got first down yardage
I think
for
that
the
ended up helping him when he fumbled the ball. It got the defense off, a little bit confused. It was a little off timing, and he was able to get up through there and get that first down.
So the ball at the 44-yard line of Troy.
Ward's out of the game right now, so.
With the ball, that's Nick Kowecki. Kowecki coming into this game with 17 rushes for 117 yards, also at about 6.5 yards per carry.
He has not had a lot of success tonight carrying the ball.
They have gone with Ward most of this night. They hustle out once again. Ward's back in there at the back. The toss comes near side. Stoltz with it. There's a flag on the play.
Looks like a holding on the edge there.
Colin Stoltz, one of the H-backs. So that's going to be a hold here. Again, next week, the Indians are going to be at Xenia.
10-yard penalty.
We won't have the full TV on that one, but we'll have our highlight package for you. Meanwhile, Troy is going to be playing at Stebbins next week. The other games going on tonight in the MVL, Sydney at Greenville, Butler at Tips, Stebbins at West Carrollton, and Fairborn at Xenia. So a 2nd and 19 facing the Troy Trojans now. Ward taking it on the right side, turns the corner, and gets the yardage up to the 45. Brought down. Colton Booker comes in there. Colton came into the game with 17 tackles. He's continuing to add to that number here.
Tips up 21-0 at the end of the first quarter on Butler. That game's being played at Sydney.
So that brings up 3rd down here, as they were, I think that was 3rd and 19 on that last one. And there's the ball. It's fumbled. Colton Booker. He's going to hoof it in for the touchdown. I believe that was a 45-yard touchdown. Colton Booker.
Holy mackerel.
That is his 2nd fumble recovery of the year. And the Indians now lead it 30-0. 6:01 left to go in our first half.
Man, oh man, that ball security. You gotta have ball security if you want to have a chance in a rivalry game. And Troy has not had a lot of success tonight with the turnover.
Jackson Tremblay with the hold by Brady Ohl. Bingo, bango, bungo. And it's 31-0. Piqua leading Troy here on the Indian Nation station.
And there's still 6 minutes left in the first half.
Yep.
Or it's just amazing.
Troy is in that situation where you come in, you're now dealing with a new coach, a new plan, a new basic attack in the wing tee. Now the wing tee is what this program used years ago.
Yes.
And that's one of the things that Everhart said, well, let's go ahead. It worked before. Let's work it again.
But it's not something that happens overnight.
No.
You've got a huge transition there from a normal offense, high school offense, to, okay, now we're going to go to the wing tee. You have to change the mentality. You have to change personnel, how they think about the game. You know, it's going to take time, and clearly they're in a process of learning it, and it's not a good time to learn on the job against your biggest rival.
Troy came out big in the first week against Dunbar, but then ran into a wall last week against Xenia and doing much the same tonight. This one's going to go way into the end zone. Well, not as deep as I thought.
End zone for a touchback.
So we're about halfway through this second quarter.
Fans, the Piqua
You can catch the Bill Neese Coaching Show every week on Spectrum Channel 5, as well as the Indian Nation station on YouTube. Show features highlights from tonight's game and a preview of next week's games. In addition, Coach Neese will be featuring the senior players breaking down the Indian season. Man in motion. Looking, Stanley tries to come ahead. He's going to slide down and hit by a couple of the Indians there. And he'd go lose about inches on the play. That'll bring up second down and 11.
Boy, it's a good thing he slid down because Finley had him in his sights. He about knocked Anson Cox out on that play. Once he slid, Anson Cox was standing there and took the full shot from Finley. That couldn't have felt good.
Yeah, but you make contact with Anson Cox, you know the contact has been made.
Yeah, you felt that one. They both felt that one.
On second and 11. Looking, and is going to be taken down once again. That's Brennan Johns, who has a touchdown in this game.
in the Trojan backfield.
Man, he ran right through the middle there and just absolutely bum rushed him, and he had no time. At this rate, partner, we're going to be recapping the first 137 meetings one by one to get through this game.
That's the second sack of the year for Brennan Johns. Too wide to the right. Now we're seeing different sets now. Jahari Ward continues to be the primary back. He's going to be short of the first down.
That'll bring up fourth down for the Trojans.
And that'll bring up fourth down.
And they kind of went quick on that, which I don't know how much value there is there, because now you're kicking it back to the Piqua offense, who has time to still work with 4 minutes left in the first half. I would think you'd want to squeeze the clock as much as possible on that third and long, considering you can't really throw the ball much.
Andrew Hellman back deep in his own end. Standing in his own 6. One thing that we're seeing, though, the long snapper is getting the job done here. And so the ball is taken by Drashad Roberts at the Indians' 49-yard line. So good field position. Less than 4 minutes to go in the first half. Indians lead it 31-0. So we are staring another mercy rule situation square in the kisser.
I'll tell you what, Troy, the ultimate embarrassment is to have a running clock on your game against your rival. I'm guessing they really don't want to get to that scenario.
Wide to the left side is Elisha Frazier, so he is out there on offense. Out of the gun. The ball goes to Spacey. He finds a hole, finds another hole, gets another hole. Can he do it? Nope, he can't get on down to the 25-yard line.
Rumbling, bumbling, man, Sam Schmeezing.
Down to the 27.
He is not easy to tackle, and they're finding that out tonight. He's had 2 of those now where he ripped off right through tacklers. Not good for the Troy Trojans defense.
So we got an injured player out there for the Troy Trojans. So let's take a break here. 3:43 left to go first half. Piqua leads Troy 31-0 on the Indian Nation station.
Have you heard of This and That Candy on Main in downtown Piqua? It's for kids of all ages. If they don't have it, they don't make it. This and That Candy on Main has your favorite retro candy. You know from when you were a kid. There's a selection of 165 glass bottle sodas and 84 kinds of saltwater taffy. Retro toys, they've got them too. This and That Candy on Main, 408 North Main Street. Find them on Facebook or call 937-541-2201. If we don't have it, they don't make it.
Back to action here. Indians lead it 31-0. Kai Warner on the sweep. Breaks a couple of tackles across the 20, down to the 17. So Kai Warner getting the running time back there as much as anything because Bryson Roberts is just playing the defense tonight after he was nicked up a little bit.
And Sam Schmeezing got his carry, his traditional 15, 16-yard carry. He got it out of there. Now back to Kai.
On 2nd and 1. In motion. Roberts. Trayshawn Roberts. Now turns the corner. Gets the first down as he's out across the 10 to the 7. But we got a flag on the play back at the 17-yard line. A hold called against the Indians, so that'll bring it back.
Looked like the delayed flags thrown there. It looked like it happened, and then it just, you thought they weren't going to make the call, and they ended up throwing it anyway.
Holding. Number 5 from the spot. 10-yard penalty.
So let's go ahead and take a break here. The Indians lead it 31-0. 2:35 left to go in the first half on the Indian Nation station.
Buffalo Wings and Rings in Piqua is located at 989 East Ash Street. They have 45 TVs to watch all the live sports that you could imagine and offer a wide variety of food options. From burgers to wings, nachos, and yes, the pretzel bites, there's something for everybody. Stop by the Piqua Wings and Rings location before the game to get fueled up for the competition and after for the celebration.
Set 25 seconds. Start.
Out of the injury timeout now. There goes Schmeezing down to the 20.
Handoff goes to Sam Schmeezing.
And he is taken down.
Go to number 22.
Dave Strobel, the defensive lineman, 6'1", 230-pound junior.
Score note in the region, Kettering Fairmont is beating LaSalle right now, 7-3 in the second quarter.
All on the 20-yard line here on the 3rd and 3. Schmeezing the back. Oh, going to keep it. Go around the left side. He's at the 10-5 and gets it down inside the 2-yard line. Driven out of bounds there by Antonio Gonzalez.
How about Uhl making something out of nothing right there? That was a busted play. I don't know who went the wrong way, but Brady, man, he kicked it into gear and beat that tackle off the edge and made a huge play.
Yeah, Brady looked like he was stamping on tarantulas there for a minute. Troy was able to take off. Here goes Smazing. Smazing's going to be wrapped up. A couple players in there. Dave Strobel, one of those. Also,
Andrew Hellman.
and it looks like maybe Hellman was another one in there. That'll bring up a second and goal to go. Maybe lost a little bit of yardage on that one. In motion, Cabral. Here goes Smeezing again. He's going to be wrapped up from behind. Coming up to get him, Jahari Ward.
Smashing your ball carrier.
Ward, we've seen him do quite a bit on offense. There he comes through and contributes on the defense here. 6-foot linebacker, 215 pounds, a junior.
This may just work out perfect because they're going to squeeze out the rest of the clock and maybe score right before the half comes to a close. And Troy may not even get the ball back. And they decided to call timeout.
So they call the timeout here with 27 seconds left to go in the half, 31-0. Piqua with the lead there. Hey, our congratulations to senior boys soccer captain Nathan Bucher as he broke the school record for most goals scored in a career. Nathan has been on fire, scoring 9 goals in the last 2 games, including helping the Indians beat Lehman 10-0. The team's going to be home on Tuesday night as they host the defending MBO champion Tip Red Devils. Happy to have you along here. Tom Michaels, the coach. Ryan Gillespie, our retired Indian Nation station crew. Our next game, and it'll be in a couple of weeks, and that will be Sydney. Another one of the big area rivals, though the Sydney Yellow Jackets, they do play in the other division here. So the Indians come out, wide left, Roman Medley. To the right-hand side, Mickey Anderson. 3rd and goal to go. They give the ball, Smeezing. Real easy.
Touchdown, Indians.
And the Indians take out to a 37-0 lead with 24 seconds left to go in the half.
Well, there's your running clock to start the second half. After that touchdown, that was, man, after those first couple plays where they made it difficult, that was way too easy right there.
New holder in, that's going to be Ryan Brown. He comes in and will be holding the football for kicker Jackson Trombley. So the kick is up and good, and 38-0 now. Indians with the lead. Now, probably missed one in the Belmont game. What happened on that one? Because I was not able to be there.
He just kind of, I think it was wide right. He just kind of doinked it a little bit, and very rare. Or it might have been wide left. I can't remember exactly, but I was stunned. It doesn't happen very often. They were way up at that point, so it was one of those things where maybe lost his focus for a half second. But I mean, geez, this happens week in and week out with this team. I mean, they came in outscoring their opponents 113-0. You add 38 to that, you got 141-0 so far this season. That's hard to believe. Is that right, math? I'm no mathematician. I'm an English teacher. So.
I never knew you were an English teacher.
Yeah. Newsflash, I have been teaching English for a long time. Math is not my specialty, but I think that's 151. I shorted us a few 10 points.
Kickoff.
So that'll bring the ball back out here to the 20-yard line with just 24 seconds to go in our half. This first half is seemingly going much faster than the one last week against West Carrollton.
Just a lot of
despite
running.
the point. Yep.
Every time Troy runs the ball.
Clock keeps on going.
Yeah.
They're going to give it again. Colin Stoltz Stoltz
Handoff goes number 2, Colin
is
Stoltz.
wrestled out of bounds. Elijah Frazier is the man who gets him out. Frazier was hurt, I think, early in that opening ball game. Could have played last week, but when you look at the score, why take a chance? Let him heal.
Yeah, he's done a great job of just holding his spot, not giving any space on the outside. Both the corners really for Piqua have not given up their space on the outside, and that's been a positive.
Again, Ward just drags the man along with him, and that man is Colton Booker. He'll get the first down here, one of the few we've seen tonight for the Troy Trojans.
But not before another Trojan first down.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to get to run another. Well, they might get one more play in here. They're not going to be set in time.
Nope, that's it.
Gonna do it for the opening half of
We have played our first 24 minutes at Alexander Stadium. Perk Field, the Indians looking to win for the 3rd time this season, for the 19th time in a row during the regular season, dating back to 2019. And sitting here, they lead Troy in the Battle of the Miami, 38-0. We'll come back with halftime activities coming up right after this break on the Indian Nation Station.
No matter if it was a long day at work, home, the practice field, or you're just celebrating a big win with your teammates, the Piqua Little Caesars has you covered. Pick up a hot and ready $5.99 pizza anytime. Your Piqua Little Caesars are proud sponsors of the Indian Nation Station and Piqua Athletics.
We interrupt this game as an important message from
Craig strives to hire talented people, passionate to continue learning both professionally and personally. When you walk in the building, you can sense family, teamwork, and fun. Come join the team of dedicated workers and become a part of the Craig family today.
to lose our best and brightest students to other universities. They're going off to major in fields like business, education, nursing, and engineering, even taking classes online. and they couldn't be happier. We couldn't be happier either. After all, that's how we planned it. With Edison State's Bridge to Bachelor's degree program, you can get your 2-year degree and core classes at Edison State and then easily transfer to a state school. Save thousands of dollars and get the same great education with Edison State.
Dr. Littlejohn believes that clear vision begins with regular comprehensive eye exams. His friendly and professional staff will make you feel welcome in his office located at 8090 Looney Road. With our great selection of stylish eyewear, our licensed opticians will help you pick the perfect pair of glasses. Dr. Littlejohn participates in many vision plans. Call us at 937-606-2772 to schedule your next eye exam. We look forward to seeing you soon.
Go Piqua!
Heart of Tin tells the story of the Tin Man from the Wizard of Oz as he searches for a heart and his place in the world. We hope you enjoy.
Welcome to the world of the heartless, where hearts are once stolen and then never taken back.
The band program is under the direction of directors Mitch Mahaney and Wyatt Hines. The guard directors are Dylan Schultz and Jacob Knight. The percussion directors are Grant Harder with assistance from Carly Riley. The Pride of Piqua has been a consistent OMEA State Marching Band finalist and a participant in Bands of America Grand Nationals. The Pride would like to thank our home crowd for all your continued support.
Harmony Systems is a manufacturing company that has been a staple in the Piqua community for nearly 30 years. The most recent milestone was the acquisition of a second facility that is roughly 100 yards away from the main plant. This location will allow for Harmony's continued growth and success. Harmony has over 60 molding machines and 225 employees, and we're still looking to expand. We offer competitive wages and a benefits package that includes access to a medical provider within walking distance at no cost to the employee. Come join our team and help make great plastic products.
And we're getting ready for the second half here at Alexander Stadium, Perk Field. The Battle of the Miami. Piqua 38, Troy nothing at the half. And Tom Michaels along with Brian Gillespie. And Brian, you've got some stats there from the first half.
Tell you what, a lot to nothing, 38-0. And, you know, the big thing here comes down to 3 defensive touchdowns in the first half for the Piqua Indians. 2 fumble recoveries returned for touchdowns, and an interception by Bryson Roberts returned for a touchdown. Those 3 key plays by the defense really, you know, put Troy behind in a big way, put them in a tough situation. Offensively, it's been a lot of running the ball for Piqua. They haven't had to throw the ball a lot. In fact, they've only actually attempted 2 passes in the game. Sam Schmeezing, a workmanlike 9 carries for 55 yards and a touchdown. He's putting in 6 yards per carry. Kai Warner's done a great job coming off the bench as a backup running back. Halfback, he's hitting at 4 carries for 43 yards and a touchdown, 10.8 yards per carry. And then Brady Uhl made a couple quick, nice runs there towards the end, and he's got 26 yards on 4 carries. But defensively, Schmeezing, on top of being a great runner out of the backfield, has been leading the way with 8 tackles in the first half. And then you had Brennan Johns, Colton Booker, and Devin Finley, each with 4. Brennan Johns has 3 tackles for a loss, including a sack in the first half, which is a pretty nice job by him. He had a huge first half.
I'd like to thank our 22-23 sponsors for our telecast here on the Indian Nation station. Kathy Henney, Little Caesars, Tech Productions, Buffalo Wings and Rings, Dick Lumpkins, This and That's Candy on Main, Harmony Systems, Creax Corporation, Edison State, Dr. Littlejohn, Morris Comfort System, and Atlantis Sportswear. Also like to remind you, the athletic department would like to thank the American Legion for once again being the sponsor of all Piqua Indians touchdowns at Alexander Stadium this season. American Legion donating $100 for every touchdown scored by the Indians at home. We thank you, American Legion, and whoever signed on that for the signed off on that one for the American Legion is probably regretting it right now.
Holy
because
mackerel.
they're going to have a hole in their pocket by the time this whole thing is over and done with. So 38-0. Piqua leading Troy. The Indians deferred to the second half, so they're going to be receiving. Back deep is Deshaun Roberts.
It's going to be one of these running clock situations yet again for the Indians.
And that ball is taken by one of the up men. And let's pick up. It looks like Ryan Brown is the man who brought it back. So with the short kick, it's out to the 40-yard line. And we'll see that the Indians...
I can officially report Ryan Brown has been tackled this year, but it happens to be on special teams.
At the 39-yard line here. Running clock as we started here. One wide to the right, two to the left. H-back in motion. They're going to throw to him. That's Colton Booker. Booker turns the corner. He's got the first down across midfield. He streaks down the sideline, gets away from one tackler, and into the end zone for a touchdown. That is a 61-yard touchdown, but we got a flag on the play. Oh, my goodness. So the holding call against the Indians is going to bring that one back.
It looked like Elijah Frazier had a nice edge block there to give him the edge, but maybe they said he was holding them. I didn't think he was.
Number 2, 10-yard penalty from the spot. So first down.
Yep, so that's Elijah Frazier, number 2, picks up the penalty.
I'm pretty surprised by that one because I thought that was a nice kick-out block and gave him the space to run. Man, I'll tell you what, Booker has really worked on his speed in the offseason because he just went off on that play. He just ran right past out the Troy players.
So the ball spotted at the 35-yard line now of the Indians.
That was a real simple play, too.
Yeah.
But Booker turned it in something way, way better than it was probably dialed up as.
Frazier is wide to the left. Single man in the backfield, 3 wide to the near side. They give the ball, Smeezing again. He's not going to get as much as he did on that last one. And it's going to get it out to about the 38-yard line. As he is going to be brought down by big number 5, 6'1", 225-pound Andrew Hellman, the linebacker. Running clock, so we're already inside 10 minutes to go in the third. Keep that running clock unless we get back within 30 points. Oh, looking long, and it was caught and then out of bounds. Ryan Brown, he was closely covered that time. Caleb Atkins was right there with him, but is able to pull it in. And that's what I keep talking about. Oh, he's not throwing the dink passes. When he does throw, he throws for the downs.
I'll tell you what, he put the ball where the defender couldn't get it outside there. The defender was there, but he was on the inside. We'll put it right where he needed to.
Smeezing runs into a couple of the white shirts. Among them, Evan Johnson, the linebacker.
Credit number 31, Evan Johnson with the tackle.
Also there. That's Andrew Hellman again. Picks up a yard, 2nd and 9. The Indians have yet to give up any kind of a score here in 2022. Oh, Across the middle, tries for Sean Roberts. Roberts across the 10, down to close to the 7-yard line before he is put asunder by Antonio Gonzalez, the defensive back, 6 foot, 170-pounder.
Nice pass there by Uhl to get that one inside the linebackers on that play.
So Brown wide right in the slot right side. That is Roberts. Mickey Anderson in the slot left side. Anderson in motion. They give the ball. Kai Warner. Kai trying to get away from his man, but unable to do so, and taken down by Nathan Wyatt, the linebacker.
Bit of odd timing on that play. I'm not sure that was exactly how they drew it up. It looked like Mickey almost ran into Kai when the handoff was made.
Officials timeout. So it looks like there may be an equipment problem across the way there, so they're going to bring in a new player coming into the ball game. That's Willie Ritchie. Not usually listed as one of their defensive players. Quick out, near side. Mickey Anderson, Mickey Anderson, Mickey Anderson, touchdown!
Nice run. He got up and attacked those defensive backs, and they couldn't bring him down.
Indians lead it now 44-0. Clock stops with the touchdown. Indians looking to go to 3-0 in the season. Ryan Brown back in there as the holder. Tremblay, line drive, good.
Tell you what,
45-0.
They have that kick timed up because Troy is really coming off the edge quick, but they have just barely missed those blocks of those extra points today. So they get there quick, but you know that Piqua special teams, you know, very fluid discipline. They do the same time every time, and they haven't been able to get it.
So with 7:19 left to go in the third period, 45-0. Piqua leading Troy. At the end of this game, the Battle of Miami game between Troy and Piqua. The winner going to receive the Traditions Trophy. Hopefully we'll be able to have that presentation for you here before we go off the air.
It'll be interesting to see what if Troy gets in the end zone in this game, because they do. There's probably one thing they definitely don't want to do is get shut out by their rivals. So, and Piqua's going to have some, you know, fire to try to keep them out of that end zone.
Here's a line drive, which is going to just hit it about the 2-yard line and then go on through the end zone. The return man didn't want any part of that one. So with 7 minutes to go in the third period, 45-0, Piqua the lead. And of course, we talk about the fact that there's arguments on both sides about the mercy rule. The idea is you don't want to take a chance on people getting hurt in a game that is well out of reach. But at the same time, you don't, you've got your coaches that want to get reps for some of the players who don't normally get it, while others say, I think we ought to end this thing. So
I think it's a fair rule. I think it's that was a good decision a couple years back when they decided to do that. It doesn't make sense to play out, 45-0 game, play it out down by down every second.
Off a pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. And they're going to come over here to the near side. Once again, ball carrier, Jahari Ward.
Schmeezing, Booker, those guys, it's like clockwork. You can pretty much just say their name after almost every play. They're always in on that action. So has Devin Finley's done a great job as well today in being in. I think you're going to see Ward again. I can't imagine they'll want to throw the ball on 3rd and 5.
Yep, Ward back there as the lone back. They're going to give it, though, this time to Stoltz. Colin Stoltz is going to be run out of bounds. Taking him out over there is Bryson Roberts, and that's going to be a run for a loss. Bring up 4th down.
Colin Stoltz looked like he was running for the student section right there. He wanted no part of Bryson Roberts.
That's a big 3rd down stop.
So that's going to bring Hellman back on to punt the ball, and he's going to be back there again at about his 6-yard line. We've seen this scenario before. For the Indians, Rashawn Roberts should be back deep. Nice punt. And that is going to roll across the 30, 25, and then die about midway between the 20 and the 15. So the Indians are going to be starting fairly deep in their own territory here with 4:43 left to go in our 3rd period. 45-0. Piqua with the lead. Their previous wins this year were by 55-0. That against Belmont, and 58-0 last week here against West Carrollton. Last year, team 13-1. Their only loss coming in the regional finals. That to Winton Woods, 38-17.
At this rate, this score might be worse than Belmont or West Carrollton.
It is possible, but probably when we get to the 4th quarter, we're going to see a bunch of new players in there. Sam Smeezing turning the corner. He's not quitting. Finally kind of dumped out of bounds there. Logan Ullery, defensive back, dumps him out of bounds. He'll pick up a couple of yards on that one, bring up a 2nd down and 8. Clock hits 4 minutes to go, 3rd period.
I'm curious to see how much more Piqua will throw the ball in this game, being up 45-0.
Kai Warner comes into the game as out goes Sam Smeezing. Kai Warner finds a hole, spins off one man. He is going to be wrapped up. Several white shirts in on that one, including Evan Johnson, the linebacker at 5'10", 165-pound junior. First down for the Indians.
Heck of a run there by Kai. This is just proof positive. Piqua has 3 guys almost every year that could start on every other team in the league at running back. It's just bred into them. They have just incredible players on that depth chart that would be everywhere else. Andrew Miller, a guy that hasn't seen any carries tonight, could probably go for some other teams in the league.
Medley wide left. Taking their time. Kai Warner. Oh, that hole really closed up very, very quickly that time. A couple of players there. David Strobel. Also, we saw number 47 in there on the stop. Orlando Dillard picks up a yard, gets the ball out to the 30. Next week, the Indians will be at Xenia. We won't have full TV here on the Indian Nation station, but we will have the highlights for you. And then a couple of weeks, right back here to Alexander Stadium, Perk Field, to take on Sydney. Here, Ryan Brown gets the ball and leans forward out to the 38-yard line. He is stopped. Starting to see some new players defensively. Caleb Atkins coming in there now for the Troy Trojans.
I think this will probably be Uhl's final drive here. Quarterback.
Yeah, we're looking to see numbered new players when we get to the 4th quarter. Kai Warner keeps just churning those legs out to the 40.
He earned that first down right there.
Absolutely. Owen Harlemart, the defensive lineman, 6'1", one of those who brought him down. Now coming into the ball game For the Indians, Gage Gambill. Schmeezing also wins. So you've got Gambill off the line and an H-back. In motion now. Here's Schmeezing.
Sam Schmeezing.
All of a sudden, the yards are getting much tougher to come by here for the Indians. Ball now at the 40-yard line. Gambill goes out. Booker comes back in.
Yeah, it seems Piqua was not in a tremendous hurry right now. They're trying to take it slow, try to run for some first downs. We may not see a whole lot of more points in this one.
Number 12 is so big and bulky.
Passing over to Booker. Booker, first down yardage. He's at the 40 and then loses his footing there. And it looks like he may be injured. We'll have to wait and see. Looked like he might have cramped up or something like that as he got the ball and drove it down.
It might be a cramp, I'm not sure, but it looks like that's what they're stretching him out. That turf monster got him, and it looked like his leg cramped up on him, and he's not going to be happy about that one because that was 6 if he keeps his feet.
45-0. The Piqua Indians leading. Just 5 seconds left to go here in the third period. Happy to have you along here. By the way, the Piqua cheerleaders going to be hosting the Little Indians Cheer Camp starting on Monday, September the 12th through the 15th. That's at the Piqua Junior High School from 5:30 to 6:30. This is for all students from kindergarten through 6th grade. The cost of the camp, $25. Please see any of the Piqua cheerleaders or the Spirit Store for brochures. The Little Indian cheerleaders will perform at the September 16th home football game when Piqua hosts Sydney.
Halftime score tonight, Stebbins leads West Carrollton 46-0 at the half. Not getting any better for West Carrollton. Xenia leads Fairborn 34-0 at the half. Or they did lead Fairborn 34-0 at the half. So that West Carrollton team, man, that's been a rough go for them the last couple weeks. You hope at some point they can find their way.
Yeah, it's just, and you and I have talked about this off the air, just amazing how certain programs, even when you get good personnel in there as far as the coaching staffs and everything, some just are never able to get off the dime and get things going necessarily in the right direction.
Congratulations to senior boys soccer captain Nathan.
It's going to take a while if he is going to get that thing turned around at West Carrollton because it's clearly not there yet.
Well, and it's not just you bring a new coach in and they change things at the high school level. These things go back, I mean, junior high school and before that, and it depends on what kind of a program you've got from the get-go. And some of these things are learned very early on.
And I'll tell you what, a lot of times you walk into a program, as I have experience where, not right now, I've been pretty lucky. I walked into a program that wasn't all torn up and didn't have much going on. But most of the time when they hire someone new, it's because something wasn't going right previously. And when you come in, you have to do some things to clean things up and improve, as you mentioned, all the way down to the bottom levels. And that does not, that takes a minute. So as a coach, I can understand where it's difficult.
Well, that's a good thing to see there as Colton Booker is walking off under his own power, coming here to the sideline. So that is going to do it here. They run the time off here for the third period. We've got one more period to go here. It'll be with the running clock. And here in the Battle of the Miami, it is 45-0. Piqua leading here on the Indian Nation Station.
We are Piqua.
We killed the lights. Yeah, that was planned. Yeah, but they didn't do it.
Atlantis Sportswear Incorporated in Piqua, Ohio is a family-owned company that started in 1985. With over 30 years of screen printing excellence, Atlantis is dedicated to producing screen-printed apparel of the highest quality to their customers. Atlantis Sportswear is currently hiring new employees to join their team. If you are the employee who has drive and ambition that wants to succeed in your career field, Atlantis Sportswear wants to meet with you to talk about the career opportunities they have. Atlantis Sportswear offers full-time, part-time, and a flexible employee work shift, and full-time employees have a full benefit package including medical, vacation time, and a generous 401k program. Please feel free to contact Atlantis Sportswear Incorporated through their website if you are interested in joining Team Atlantis.
We begin the fourth quarter with a running clock. 45-0, Piqua leading Troy here in this 138th meeting between the two schools. Ooh, on the little pitch there, Deshaun Roberts. Oh, he's taken down big time. Coming through there for the stop was Willie Ritchie. Picks up a yard, though. Brings up 2nd and 9.
Fans, get your 50-50 tickets.
Now, the Indians are going to go to 3-0.
$1,035. The announcement they made here a moment.
They're going to go to 3-0. They will have continued their win streak at 19 straight regular season games. And that goes back to the 2019 season. Amazingly enough. And the Indians are continuing on.
And we're at 100, at my math tally, we're at 158-0 in the first 3 games right now. So if my math is correct, and I believe it is, that is an incredible number in your first 3 games of the season to dominate your opponents by.
Things going to toughen up next week when the Indians play at Xenia. Highlights here on the Indian Nation station. We will not have the full broadcast as we have had the last 2 weeks. We'll be back with you in a couple of weeks when Sydney comes here to Alexander Stadium.
Holder of this ticket, please see us in the home side press box.
So the Indians come out of the huddle. Rolling clock rolls on. They work from the right hash mark to the Indians. Ryan Brown is still wide to the right. Medley is off to the left-hand side. That's Roman Medley. They give it to Smeezing, and he turns his way down to about the 28, maybe the 27-yard line. Uhl is still quarterbacking. Number 12 out there now, Gage Gamble. In the slot left side, Mickey Anderson. And the Indians are being very deliberate here. If they put points on the board, they put points on the board, but they're not trying to rub Troy's nose in this thing.
They're not. They're just squeezing the clock. They're just running clocks going quick as it is.
Smeezing will get the ball again. Smeezing slips a tackle, but he can't slip the gang tackle there. 3 of the white shirts.
Number 13, Willie Ritchie, as well as number 57.
I'll tell you what, he's broke quite a few tackles tonight. He seems like the first guy can't ever get Smeezing down.
So we got another injury timeout out there, this time for one of the guys for Troy that participated in that particular tackle. So things have slowed down just a little bit here. So let's take a break right now. Piqua leads at 45-0 on Troy on the Indian Nation station.
I had a lot
lot of struggle trying to find a proper real estate agent to help me with all of my house buying needs. And the last people I came to was Kathy and her team, and they're just amazing. I highly 10 out of 10 recommend.
Kathy just sold my house in record time, record offers, record showings. If you need to sell a house, go with Kathy. She is the absolute best.
Kathy's team helped me out so much. It was a great process. The gifts.
Look forward to living here in Ohio and recommending many future home buyers to use Kathy and her team to find the perfect house.
We found that having Kathy Haney as our realtor, we were comforted and encouraged by her professional experience.
Definitely highly recommend. Definitely.
We just sold our house because of Kathy Haney's amazing skills. She is positive and thorough, and I can't say enough good things about Kathy. Thanks, Kathy. You're the best.
Thanks, Kathy.
So back to action here.
Seems like we're getting a lot of cramps out there.
Yeah.
A long game. Both teams are struggling with some cramping issues.
So on 4th down. Indians again letting the clock roll down as much as they can. 4th down and shorts. They'll give the ball Schmeezing. Got the first down, got more, bounces to the outside, and on in. Sam Schmeezing puts more points on the board. 51-0 with 9:23 left to go here.
And the beat goes on for Sam Schmeezing. What a night. What a season, really. So far. And it's 3 games in. He's had a heck of a, he wasn't even a running back hardly last year. Didn't get many carries at all. And he stepped right in and been great for them.
Jackson Tremblay on for the extra point. A little bit of a high snap. Gets that one away. And it is good. 52-0 now. With 9:23 left in the football game. And the Indians sitting there on a 52-0 lead. They'll be running it to 3-0 for this young season. Of course, the toughest part of the season coming up yet. The first really tough game probably next week at Xenia. Nice crowd on hand here tonight at Alexander Stadium. One of the show places in terms of football stadiums, high school football stadiums in the state of Ohio, and certainly in this part of the state to be sure. Jackson Tremblay is going to count it off once again. He's been very busy once again this evening between the extra points, the kickoffs, and such. Did we see him with a punt?
No, I don't believe they've punted tonight, have they?
Nope, they haven't punted tonight. So that one sails on through. Again, happy that you have decided to spend part of your evening with us here.
As I look through the history between these two teams, this appears to be what would be the largest deficit for a Piqua win. Oh, I'm sorry, not the largest deficit. My eyes aren't as greatest. It's been a while since 1917, but in 1917 they won 66-0 and 60-0 over Troy. Now that doesn't even count the biggest win in the series. Get this, 85-0 in 1913. Troy beat Piqua 85-0.
Wow. Kowicki with the run, picking up 4. That brings up 2nd and 6. Again, Kowicki goes along on the left side. In on the stop, you see Mickey Anderson coming up from his linebacker position, 6 foot, 172-pound junior.
Piqua keeping most of their starters in there right now. Not all of them. I think Schmeezing's getting a break, but a lot of their starters are out there. I think Schaller came in for Schmeezing to give him giving him an opportunity to relax. But they want this shutout.
And once again, Kowecki. But we got a flag on the play. Officials talking it over. See if we can pick it up here.
Number 13 offense, line up in the neutral zone. Replay, still third down.
So that's going to take it back 5 yards. Bring up a third down and 11. Don't forget you can catch the Bill Nees Coaches Show every week on Spectrum Channel 5, as well as the Indian Nation station on YouTube. Show features highlights from tonight's game as well as next week's game against Xenia. In addition, Coach Neese will feature the senior football players breaking down the Indian season. Looking over here, near side and incomplete. Hit him in the hands, Colin Stoltz. He juggled it but couldn't bring it in.
Well, it's going to be a rough year for Troy if they can't complete the simplest of passes. They have just struggled mightily to get any kind of passing game going. Now, understanding that the wing T is not a passing offense, but I think you have to have some sort of option to throw the ball, especially when you get yourself behind the sticks and you're at 3rd and 11.
Andrew Hellman back out there. He's been a busy guy out there with a number of punts tonight.
He's playing linebacker and he's the punter, so.
Good guy. Had some nice ones. This one right about midfield, brought back by Frazier. Frazier across the 40 down to the 37. He is wrapped up and put down on the turf by Willie Ritchie. Ritchie shaken up there. Let's take a break here with the injured players. 6:04 to go in the game. 52-0. Piqua leading Troy on the Indian Nation station.
Varsity football cheerleaders. We would like to recognize Brooklyn Black, Alyssa Brock, Maya Evans, Rhea Evans, Elena Hubley, Kaylee Tillman, Piper Croft, Devea Cooper, and Allie Cathcart, and the varsity cheer coach, Morgan Moore. Ladies and gentlemen, the varsity cheerleaders.
I love you, AJ.
My sweetie pie.
Is it the back one? Hey! I got the second team in. Hey! That's time,
New ball carrier this time. With it for the Indians, that's Andrew Miller. New quarterback, that is Caden Thomas. 5'8", 151-pound sophomore. Looking over to the sideline here. Now we've got an official's timeout. And then we're back in. After the pickup of 4, 2nd and 6, clock continues to roll. This time, quarterback's going to keep it.
Caden Thomas.
Nice little run that time.
The quarterback number 15, Caden Thomas, your ball carrier.
Caden Thomas. Is this the first time we've seen him this year?
He's had a few snaps, but in the first game, I think he had a couple snaps. In last game, a little bit, but not a lot.
Well, when you got Brady Uhl out there. Last year, the backup quarterback to Uhl was Kai Warner. Well, Kai Warner is doing yeoman duty at running back now. Miller is going to run off the left side. He'll be wrapped up. Andrew Hellman, the man on top of him there.
First down, Indians.
Miller getting the first down. There's 4 minutes to go. Again, I'd like to thank everybody who makes it so joyful for us to be able to come in here to do these games on the Indian Nation station. Hope you're enjoying them. Yes, of course, the biggest win of the early season. And once again, Andrew Miller, the 5'8", 169-pound junior running back,
In on the tackle.
will take the ball. And the Indians playing it fairly conservatively here.
We wouldn't have this opportunity if it wasn't for the bald and beautiful A.J. Ganger running the show back there. And
bald and beautiful.
Bald and beautiful, and he's bearded, so there's a lot of bees going on there. We week in and week out, he does a great job with this production, and we wouldn't have that opportunity to do what we do.
Bald and beautiful. You're half right. You're half right.
Andrew Miller, your ball carrier.
And the Indians continue to keep the ball on the ground,
The tackle.
as you would imagine. Inside 3 to go.
Well, he thinks he's beautiful. I should have been clear. I should have clarified that.
Yes. Well, you're starting to cut our mics right now.
That's why they call him the best in the business, people.
Okay, I'm going to risk it. They call him the best in the business?
He calls himself the best in the business.
Okay,
I shouldn't be clarifying these things.
Here's Miller. Finds a hole. He's at the 10, 5, touchdown. Andrew Miller. Well, he's bidding for more playing time.
What a nice cut right there on that run. You know, Piqua's not trying real hard to score. They're running normal sets. You know, and Troy just can't stop them.
Yeah, you can't at this point be taking a knee out there.
No.
You know? And if the other team cannot stop, that's part of the game. Tremblay on.
And the extra point is good.
And that line drive on through, 59-0 now. So the Indians have had 3 games this year. The first 54-0, then 58-0. And you mentioned it could even go a little bit worse than what we've seen. And here it is at 59-0.
It's like they want to top themselves every week. You know, 54, and just keep on going up, 58, 59. What's next? Well, I don't know. It's going to be that way against Xenia, but with this team, you just don't know.
Yep. Well, Bill Neese, his record going to go to 224 and 107. Meanwhile, the first-year coach Troy Everhart,
he's going to wish he was still on the San Diego beaches right now.
Yep. Unusual situation there. He decided he wanted to leave the San Diego program, and that was at Fallbrook Union High School, and he turned the situation around there. But out in California, they had the mandates as far as the vaccinations, and he just didn't want to do that. So he left that program, and then the opportunity came back to come back here. Years ago, when he was a coach at one of the Ohio high schools, it may have been Middletown, he brought his team and played against Troy, liked the program, liked the culture, and was happy as all get out to come back and coach here. It's going to take a little bit more to get this program back on the proper footing, it would appear. So with that, football going to be at the 20-yard line. And we see one more time the Troy Trojans take it over on offense. India scored their first 2 touchdowns tonight on defensive touchdowns. Ball is carried by Colin Stoltz.
He's just not been able to get anything really going when his name's been called today. Number been called.
29, Dylan Philippi.
On second down, the give. Kawecki. Kawecki going to get it out. 28-yard line.
That might be his best carry of the day right there.
It may be. Well, Nick Kawecki usually runs at an H-back. Came in at 17 of 117. 117 yards, 6.3-yard average. That's been pretty much killed here tonight.
Well, they've had him corralled all night. Really, Ward was the only running back to get some footing tonight for the Troy Trojans.
And they ran very few sweeps. They've been trying to go up the middle so much. And here it goes again, Kawecki. Well, he's going to pick up yardage here, across midfield, and rumbles on down to the 31-yard line. In there for the stop for the Piqua Indians. That's Peyton Offenbacher.
They're going to run out of time here. They're not going to be able to get in the end zone unless they absolutely have a huge play here.
Peyton Offenbacher.
Once again, looking to the outside, and see, waiting, he's out of bounds. Out of bounds down between the 2 and the 3. And I don't think they're going to be able to get everybody situated where they want them to. Let's see, he's under center. The quarterback is. He's going to be stopped, but there's a flag on the play. Let's see.
That's going to do it, I think. I think it was somebody was moving on Troy.
There is a flag on the play, but
illegal shift on Troy. Player did got set. That's in the ballgame.
That's going to be it. End of the game. Final score, Piqua 59 and Troy nothing. And that means this series, which goes back 138 games, goes back to 1899, now stands at Piqua 66, Troy 66, and 6 ties. Amazing.
That's way too many 6s for my liking. I tell you what, that's hard to believe that somehow those numbers could be even after all these meetings. Pretty crazy.
Well, the players in the handshake line here, and of course, these two teams being just a couple of exits difference here on the interstate, both Miami County teams. These players have known each other probably for years and years. They've played against, they've played with each other for years and years. And now, as Troy goes to 1-2, Piqua goes to 3-0. There's the series. As we mentioned, 66, 66, and 6. And now we're going to see the trophy presentation. Each year, the winning football team of the Battle of the Miami game between Troy and Piqua receives an award which is known as the Traditions Trophy. This trophy commemorates all the outstanding football contests played between these two communities since back there before last century, 1899. Piqua and Troy game is the most played rivalry in the state of Ohio, having finished its 138th game of the series now. At this time, it's the honor of both Piqua and Troy High School to present the Battle of Miami Traditions Trophy to the players, coaches, and fans of Piqua High School. There you see it, and it is very much deserved by these Piqua players here. What a performance tonight. And we are so happy that you have been with us and joined us. Have we seen any stats come through here as yet?
I have not seen anything yet. The students get to get out on the field right there. They did the blackout tonight, looking good out there. Looks like you had a good student section to support the team, and boy, did they deserve it for this effort.
Absolutely.
Congratulations, Indians.
Hey, don't forget, the athletic department would like to thank the American Legion for once again being the sponsor of all Piqua Indians touchdowns here at Alexander Stadium for this 2022 season. American Legion donating $100 for every touchdown scored by the Indians at home. So we thank you, American Legion. Also, everybody would like to thank the Cincinnati Bengals for sponsoring tonight's tailgate party in front of the stadium. Appreciating Hugh Day and the great people from the Bengals organization, adding another element of energy to tonight's game. So if we don't have the final stats, so take a look at that coming up on the Miami Valley Today newspaper. Again, the final score here at Alexander Stadium, Piqua 59, Troy nothing. Piqua wins the Battle of Miami 66, 66, and 6, the way that series ends up. There you see the happy victors with the band down to their right. We certainly appreciate you joining us here on the Indian Nation Station. Former broadcast partner Brian Gillespie, for AJ Ganger and our entire crew. My name is Tom Michaels. You've been watching Piqua Indians football on the Indian Nation Station.
Atlantis Sportswear Incorporated